Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Rasmussen, Dr. Chris Rasmussen, and welcome to the Fundamentals of Emergency Medicine, Red Flags, and Common Simple Emergencies. This is a course that I've been doing for about 10 years. Normally it's a seminar that I travel around and present, but now you get to watch it in the comfort of your own home. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's go through some of the things that we'll be talking about. Why is it called a red flag? So what's up with that? Well, in 1865 there was the Red Flag Act. That was in Great Britain. Basically it was to warn people of a noisy, sputtering contraption heading their way. As it shows over here, the Locomotives on Highways Act, also known as Red Flag Act, passed by the Brits, and then shortly after that we took up the same baton and produced our own laws. It also required that every road locomotive must have 3 attendants, one to steer, one to stoke, and one to walk 50 meters ahead of the vehicle bearing a red flag, signaling the driver when to stop. Red flag is a warning to the clinician. So basically what happened here is that this person with a red flag just warned everyone that there's some impending doom heading their way, mostly for horses and probably anyone else who got spooked by a backfiring engine. So likewise, the red flag now in medicine is a sign, symptom, or history. Let me get on my little marker here. Sign, symptom, or history. Here we go. That is a warning to the clinician to be aware and to be forewarned. That is, to give warning signs of impending peril. Very, very important. Most important thing in medicine is to be able to recognize a red flag. So, moving on. Here's the sources I used, along with a few others. But for the most part, these came out of actual textbooks. Bates Pocket Guide to Physical Exam. Well, let's see, what is this doing here? Blueprints in Emergency Medicine by Blackwell. These two in particular, this whole blueprint series here, this is actually quite nice. You might want to consider picking this up if you're interested in knowing any more detail of medicine. They have a book for each specialty. So you got emergency medicine here, and then I also used regular medicine. But they have it in surgery, pediatrics, OB-GYN, neurology, all that good stuff. So these are used for prepping residents to get ready for their board exams. So it's got detail, but not an overwhelming amount. Just basically the bare bones, sort of the guts you need to know about each disease process. So very useful, and that's why I've incorporated them in here. This is the book we used at Georgetown, Common Simple Emergencies. Field Guide. Students turned me on to this one. I rather like it. It's nice. It's based on clinical symptoms and signs, so like cough, rather than based on a disease that you look up. And then we've got the Lang series and a few others. These last two here, if you're interested in a book that, again, goes by symptoms. So if someone comes into your clinic with a cough, well, what do you think about? These last two here will address that in that fashion. So it gives you a differential diagnosis of cough or anything else that you might look up. So very useful if they don't have a diagnosis. This is really the best way to approach it, would be with these two. Depth of content. In many ways, the subjects we will be covering, I have deliberately added in a bit more information than is absolutely necessary. And why is that? Well, I figure, as your knowledge base grows, you may wish to return to this lecture, and you can always extract more information from it. So the smarter you get, the more that you can appreciate from these slides. As always, when I finish a topic, I'll try to summarize it as best I can. Sort of give you like the take-home message of each section. In addition, there are many more slides, images in the PowerPoint presentation than in your notebook. I can just ignore that. Finally, you'll see that this seminar covers 3 areas. Okay. And that's about it. So let's try and finish up with this and see where it takes us.